With a face for radio and a voice for newspapers, it's the Walt Bonetti Podcast.
Welcome to episode 4 of the Walt Bonetti Podcast for January 8th, 2019. The Walt Bonetti Podcast is brought to you by the Original Italian Pie of Kenner, 3600 Williams Boulevard. You can dine in or you can call ahead, 469-4999. They'll have your order ready for pickup or they will deliver to your home or your office. 469-4999 is the number to call for great food, whether you want a calzone, a sandwich, a salad, a wrap, incredible pasta, or great pizza. It's the Original Italian Pie of Kenner. The Walt Bonetti Podcast is also brought to you by Coppa Donut, 2321 West Esplanade in the Kenner Market Center. Coppa Donut is great donuts and a whole lot more. 305-4858 is their number. That's Coppa Donut for great donuts and a whole lot more. A little later, we will be telling you about New York Governor Andrew Cuomo saying that former Vice President Joe Biden has the secret ingredient to beat Donald Trump. A former New Orleans chef goes on a Twitter fit. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards says to read his lips, no new taxes. I wish he said that last year. And a woman threatens her parents because they wouldn't take her to Outback Steakhouse. But now, these quick hits. New Orleans Police Superintendent Michael Harrison is bound for Baltimore and will retire from the NOPD. Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh announced that Harrison will be the next Baltimore police chief after Pugh's first choice, Fort Worth Police Chief Joel Fitzgerald, withdrew from consideration. Harrison is either a masochist for going from New Orleans to Baltimore, or he really wanted to get out. In either case, the crime problem and the perception of crime now falls squarely on the shoulders of New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell. She will have the next pick of New Orleans Police Superintendent. It'll be her choice. It'll be all her. No more blaming former Mayor Mitch Landrieu for the crime problem, moving forward anyway. And we'll see if Cantrell's ideas like meditation rooms and nonsense like that, at least in my opinion, are working or not. Friday at noon, there will be a Saints Black and Gold pep rally at the Hancock Whitney Center, formerly One Shell Square, 701 Poydras in the CBD. Former Saint Roman Harper and members of the Saint Stations will appear, and there will be ticket and field pass giveaways and autographed merchandise to win. And admission is free. A Metairie sexual offender, Jason Matthew Zeller, on the lam for 2 years, was apprehended by U.S. Marshals in Altamont Springs, Florida, near Orlando. Zeller skipped a January 4, 2017 status hearing regarding pending charges of sending and receiving sexually explicit photos of children and computer-aided solicitation of a minor. Zeller, who was already a registered sex offender when he was arrested in 2015, was also arrested in 2010 for possession of juvenile pornography. President Trump will address the nation tonight. He's expected to discuss the border wall. The president is expected to speak for about 8 minutes, and of course, Democrats Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are requesting equal time. Gotta have it, right? Gotta be able to debate the president on whether we need the wall or not. In addition, the president will visit the U.S.-Mexico border on Thursday. A federal appeals court has declined to reconsider its decision that allows Louisiana to impose a 21-year-old age requirement on exotic dancers. 3 women aged 18, 19, and 20 challenged the age restriction on the reason that it was unconstitutional on First Amendment grounds. So you can join the military, you can possibly fight and die for your country, you can vote, but you can't take off your clothes in a bar or a strip club? How does that make any sense? Bluebell is distributing its king cake flavor ice cream nationwide after a Louisiana grocer posted a photo of it last year on social media, and other grocery stores wanted in on the action. I had some Bluebell king cake ice cream last year, and it was okay. But if you want some, and you really want some, you know whenever Bluebell puts out a special flavor, they sell out. So make sure you know when your grocer stocks their Bluebell so you can get to the freezer section early and make sure that you get some king cake flavor ice cream if you want some. For the first time in history, The Marine Corps will integrate male and female platoons during boot camp. The Marine Corps has the lowest percentage of all services, with just 9% women. The change is not permanent, but it will give the Marine Corps the opportunity to evaluate how an integrated company performs. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who always seems to put his foot in his mouth, believes Joe Biden, yes, 2% Joe Biden, is the greatest threat to President Trump in 2020 because Biden has the, quote, secret ingredient necessary to beat Trump. According to Cuomo, the secret ingredient is credibility. That's right, credibility from 2% Joe Biden. Now, if Governor Cuomo would just tell me the secret ingredient in cane sauce, I'd be a happy guy. I still wouldn't vote for Biden, though. When I was a kid growing up, life was simpler. There was one Oreo cookie, 2 chocolate cookies with vanilla cream in the middle. Then they made double stuff, and that was cool. I like double stuff. Then came vanilla Oreos, which I really like. But then the flavors multiplied like rabbits. Chocolate mint Oreos, carrot cake Oreos, Halloween Oreos, birthday cake Oreos. It was just too much. Well, next up is buttered popcorn Oreos. While I love movie theater popcorn, buttered popcorn Oreos sounds like something that I want to try. I want one of before I invest in an entire bag that will probably sit there and go stale, or I'll throw it away. We've seen this before, though. First you had the Reese cup. Chocolate and peanut butter. Very simple. Then you had big cups. Then you had Reese's Pieces. Then you had Nutlicious. Now you have Reese's Pieces in big cups. And those are incredible. Now Reese's Pieces are in Hershey bars. I just saw it on TV. Haven't had one yet. Hershey chocolate bar with Reese's Pieces inside. How can that be a bad thing? And now this. Hi, this is Walt Benetti for my friends over at the Original Italian Pie of Kenner, 3600 Williams Boulevard, just a little bit north of West Esplanade. The Original Italian Pie of Kenner features great food, and it is always freshly prepared for you when you order using the freshest ingredients possible. No heat lamps here. Not at all. Not like other restaurants. And you can call the Original Italian Pie at 469-4999. That's 469-4999. And they'll have your order ready for pickup or delivery to your home or your office. You can also order online at orderitalianpie.com. That's orderitalianpie.com. Whenever you are hungry, make sure that you think about my friends over at the Original Italian Pie of Kenner, 3600 Williams Boulevard. Call 469-4999. That's 469-4999. And eat some great food. With a name like Coppa Donut, you immediately think, it's just another donut shop. And yeah, Coppa Donut sells great donuts. But, like they say on TV, wait! There's more. Coppa Donut has apple fritters, eclairs, cinnamon twist, cinnamon buns, honey buns, great breakfast, sandwiches, smoothies, breakfast burritos, French toast, waffles. Now, does that sound like just another donut store? I think not. Coppa Donut is open from 5 a.m. to noon Monday through Friday and 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. on the weekends. Stop by for breakfast on your way to work and grab a couple dozen great donuts for your coworkers. You'll be an office hero. They will be telling stories about the day you brought Coppa Donut donuts to work for months. Trust me. That's Coppa Donut. Great donuts and more. 2321 West Esplanade in the Kenner Market Center. Coppa Donut. Great donuts and a whole lot more.
There it is. Australia. I'll be damned. Look at this country. You are gay.
Walt Benetti.
Welcome back. Thanks again for making the podcast part of your day. Louisiana Governor John Bel Edwards promised no new taxes and no special legislative sessions in 2019. Since it's an election year, I know you're as shocked as I was. Quote, "We're not going to have to raise taxes," Edwards told members of the Press Club of Baton Rouge Monday. Of course not. You raised them last year, despite a $300+ million surplus. Quote, "Louisiana's doing better on so many critical fronts." Edwards said. The governor also laid out his legislative agenda, and pay raises for teachers and support staff are his number one priority. Edwards also plans to push for an increase in the minimum wage, but only to $8.50 an hour, and he hopes to address Louisiana's gender pay gap. The gender pay gap issue is interesting since Louisiana has the highest gender wage gap in America. I have to be honest, though. When it comes to wages, I don't believe that women should make the same amount of money as men. No. They should make more. Much more. Except for the WNBA. Sorry, ladies. Until you can generate $1 billion television contract and have people paying $10,000 plus to sit courtside to watch your games, you should not be making the same amount of money as NBA players. But NBA players shouldn't make what NBA players make. It's obscene what an NBA player makes these days. But back to the WNBA. I mean, they've been playing basketball for years now. And I don't get it. And I can't watch it on TV. To me, it is unwatchable. I'm all for equal rights and equal opportunities for women. Don't get me wrong here. But I'm just not feeling women's basketball. Now, women's volleyball, yeah, especially beach volleyball. Hey, I'm all for that one. Sign me up. But women's basketball, that's down there with women's football. I mean, what is the purpose of having women play football when they wear helmets? You can't see their faces. You can't see their beauty. What is up with that? So, call me a sexist pig, but women's volleyball, great. Women's beach volleyball, even better. But women's NBA and women's football, nah, not for me. Governor Edwards also plans initiatives to address school safety, opioid addiction, and will promote veteran-owned businesses. Of course, like I said, it's an election year. Let's get them all in there. Let's get every issue that we can find to try to generate votes. But teacher pay raises, he has to have that. He has to have the teachers' union support. Otherwise, he's going to lose to anybody. The chef at New Orleans' venerable Upper Line restaurant was fired Sunday night, and he immediately went on a Twitter rampage, trashing the restaurant and its owner, Joanne Clevenger, the New Orleans restaurant industry, and everything else in his path. James Cullen posted more than 90 tweets calling the Upper Line, quote, evil, a museum, not a restaurant, and the most toxic place he'd ever worked. He accused Clevenger of assault and called her a monster, a psychopath, and abusive. Cullen also said the New Orleans restaurant industry was a cesspool and operates like a modern plantation system. Now, I've never worked for Joanne Clevenger, and I know the restaurant business is demanding, but I have met Joanne, and she was always very, very nice to me. I first met Joanne in 2003 or so. Easy Serve had gone bankrupt and auctioned off its stores, and Joanne had bought the former Easy Serve adjacent to the Upper Line and was considering what she could do with it. Our first meeting, we had a several-hour conversation, and she had some food prepared for us to snack on. When I raved about the fried green tomatoes, Joanne grabbed a piece of paper and wrote down her recipe for me while walking me through the steps to make the tomatoes. You know how chefs are usually secretive about their recipes, but Joanne was giving and wanted me to know how to make fried green tomatoes her way. I'm not sure, but that doesn't sound like a psychopathic monster to me. Again, just me, but I think Mr. Cullen should stay off Twitter and start cooking. Otherwise, his next stop may be flipping burgers instead of making great food like Upper Line's duck etouffee.
Now, the Walt Bonetti Podcast Dumbass of the Day.
Our dumbasses of the day are an Idaho junior high teacher who fed a sick puppy to a snapping turtle, and the jury that found him not guilty of animal cruelty. Robert Crossland reportedly fed the puppy to a snapping turtle named Jaws in front of a group of students after school. Crossland's attorney argued that the puppy was sick and close to death anyway, while Crossland, a science teacher, put the puppy in the turtle's tank. Crossland's attorney also wanted the case dismissed based on a lack of evidence that the puppy suffered. I mean, come on. It was caught in the jaws of a snapping turtle named Jaws and dragged underwater and drowned. Is that not suffering? It is to me. We are naming names, and ironically, two of our crime stories involve 29-year-olds, a man and a woman from Metro New Orleans. First up, a 29-year-old man was jailed after he was alleged to have pointed a gun at a woman and threatened to kill her after she refused to have sex with him. Earl Ivy was charged with simple battery and aggravated assault with a firearm. Ivy approached a woman sitting in her car in a friend's driveway and asked her to have sex with him. The woman told Ivy that she would never have sex with him, so Ivy left, saying he was going to get a gun. Ivy returned and hit the woman in her face. The woman got out of the car, and Ivy pointed a gun at her and said, "I'm going to kill you." The woman called police, and Ivy fled. He has previous convictions for use of a weapon and being a convicted felon with a weapon. A 29-year-old woman was arrested Sunday morning after a verbal altercation became violent, and she stabbed another woman in the head with a corkscrew in Algiers. Troy Lynn Haywood was charged with aggravated battery. A corkscrew! Come on, in the head, a corkscrew! That's unbelievable. I've never heard that one before, but only in New Orleans. Our final true crime story involves a Lake Worth, Florida woman who was in jail because she attacked her parents with a knife, screaming, "I'm going to kill you!" after her parents refused to take her to Outback Steakhouse. Deanna Michelle Seltzer, 28, flipped over a table and tore up furniture before grabbing the knife. Her father suffered scratches to his face and upper body before he was able to wrestle the knife from his daughter. Seltzer is charged with assault with a deadly weapon and battery. Well, that puts a wrap on this podcast. Thanks again for listening. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, people you'd like me to talk to or about, drop me a line. waltbradio@gmail.com. waltbradio@gmail.com. And don't forget to support our sponsors. The Original Italian Pie of Kenner, 3600 Williams Boulevard, just a little bit north of West Esplanade. 469-4999 is their telephone number. You can call ahead and they'll have your order ready for pickup, or they will deliver it to your home or your office, or you can dine in. Give yourself or your spouse a night off from cooking, or treat the kids to a great meal at the Original Italian Pie of Kenner. The Walt Benetti podcast is also sponsored by Capadona, 2321 West Esplanade in the Kenner Market Center. Capadona is great donuts and more. 305-4858 is their telephone number, 305-4858. You can call ahead, and they will have your order ready for pickup as well. Just tell them what you want, and they'll have it ready. Capadona, great donuts and more. As we tell you every day, go out and be a blessing. Change someone's life today, or change your own. You can do it. You live in the greatest country in the world, the greatest country probably in the history of the world, where you can change someone's life or your own life every single day you wake up. That's all you have to do. Wake up. That's the first step. Then thank God, and then be a blessing. Thanks again for listening.
Walt Benetti.